Hi, I'm Johnny C. Taylor Jr., President and CEO of the Society for Human Resource Management. And I'm here to tell my story as part of Mindshare Partners' Leaders Go First campaign. I remember so vividly the year. I can think back to 2004. I had achieved all sorts of career success, named the youngest corporate officer in my company's history, was making a ton of money, had just married a WNBA player. I mean, life was just, I was on top of the world. And then I wasn't. All of a sudden, it felt like my entire world started to crumble, and it was impacting everything. How I was performing at work, how I was performing as a husband, my overall happiness. And I didn't know what was going on because I felt like the same person physically. There was no indication that anything was wrong. I kept going to see my doctors and, what's happening. Ultimately, I was diagnosed with, burning out. I had raced so hard in my career and so fast and was born the achiever, valedictorian of my high school. I raced through undergrad in 2.5 years, completed a master's and a law degree by 23 years old. And then all of a sudden it caught up with me. And I didn't know what to do. Everything was falling and crashing at once. And of course, people like me are defined, and like so many of us, by our jobs and our career success. And it wasn't happening anymore. It was scary and it was dark. Fortunately, I worked with a leader who saw the signs, encouraged me, Mr. Powerful, Mr. Successful executive, to seek mental wellness. I understood physical wellness. I've always been in pretty darn good physical shape, but I didn't focus on my mental well-being. And I had a leader who encouraged me to do so, to take time off, and who ultimately said it was okay to be vulnerable and for things not to be going so well in Johnny Taylor's perfect little life. So I get the opportunity to, every time I get the opportunity to tell people it's okay, I mean it. And I'm not saying it just because I've read it somewhere. I'm saying it because I experienced it personally. Mental health at work is something we've ignored too long. And people need to feel comfortable sharing with their people managers, their people leaders, that they're not always okay, even when they say, I'm okay. I can tell you now, as the leader, the CEO of the world's largest HR organization, 325,000 members across the globe in 165 countries, I have prioritized mental health at work. I've made it a part of the way we operate, a part of our culture, the very ethos that is SHRM. We have to start with destigmatizing mental health. It is okay to not be well from time to time. It is okay for you to be able to share that with your leader, and you will get the same level of concern, sympathy, and in fact, empathy as if you were to walk in and tell your manager that you were suffering physically. That's what we've done here. We went one step further at SHRM, and that is to go to our healthcare benefit providers and say, I understand what you'll do for physical ailments and to ensure that our employees are physically well. I need us to do the same thing with our EAP programs. We want higher quality EAP programs. We want to ensure that our employees who are suffering mental health crises, and for those who've not yet experienced one, we'd like to prevent them from experiencing a mental health crises. We need to ensure that our health and welfare benefit plans give them the same level of coverage. I call it parity, mental health and physical health insurance coverage parity. I would encourage each of you, every leader, whether you're a line leader, an executive, I need you to spend time ensuring that you pay attention to this, because that superstar in your organization could be going through what I went through about 15, 17 years ago. And if you don't intervene, you will lose an incredibly talented person. And your organization and a knowledge-based economy needs to do everything that we can do to treat the whole person physically and mentally. Thank you.